getting better. Start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Welcome back in, everybody, as you get a look there, the student section here at the Colt Corral in Belleville, Ohio. Clear Fork Colts at home in a school day duel taking on the Ontario Warriors. We did indeed have a double forfeit at 106. And they are going to forfeit to Aiden Knoll, so that's going to be another 6 for the Warriors.
First on the mat today at 120 pounds. For the Clear Fork Colts, we have Colton, watch me, steal your girl, Wanger.
A little confusion what we're doing here. Yeah, it looks like they forfeited at 13. So that's going to move us up to the 120-pound weight class. It's going to be Colton, watch me steal your girl, Wanger. Number 9 at 113 in D2, bumping up to 120 to take on Ontario's excellent Tyler Turnball.
Duration, your first on the mat today at 113 pounds.
No.
Were you clear for a coach?
No, there's a correction there. It is going to be Keegan Lorenz. He's going to come out at 113, bumping up from 106 to take on Ontario's Aiden Knoll, the number 1 ranked wrestler at 113 in D2. As you see, Keegan Lawrence taking his lap around the map. As Lorenz and Ole will take the center of the mat. Clear Fork in their home black and green singlets. They will be green. Ontario in their brand new blue and white singlets. They will be denoted as the red wrestler on the mat today. And here we go. We're underway. Ole working to the inside tie and an underhook. Snapping down. Continually snapping in the front headlock situation. Spins and scores, gets a quick 3. 3-0. He'll kick out. And Ole right back into it. It's back into that under tie. Nice elbow pass to a double leg. Another 3 takedown here. Kicks him out one more time, and it's going to be 6-2 Ole. Ole in on a fireman's. Near side fireman's lifts, but walks him out of bounds. They'll go back to the center and reset. Really nice lift there. You'd like to see Ole kind of crash that down inbounds and score out of it, but he'll get another opportunity here as he ducks under that leg. I'm sorry, that arm. Double leg, takes him straight to his back. Gets his 4 count. Locks up a cradle. That 4 count should probably be awarded here. Cradled to his back. Lorenz kicking, and he's stuck. Aiden Ole with a first period pin. We're going to get a word with Aiden Ole here shortly. Aiden Knoll, projected state champ at 113 in Division II this year. Runner-up last year, lost a great match to a kid from Bexley. Now we've got the 120 weight class coming up. It's going to be Ontario's excellent Tyler Turnball, number 13 ranked wrestler at 120 in D2. Recently won the Sally George down there at Pleasant, had a great tournament, put together some excellent matches. Now we have Colton, watch me steal your girl, Wanger, coming out to take the mat. Slapping hands. Teammates sending him out with some well wishes. Number 9 ranked wrestler at 113 and D2 bumping up to take on Turnball at 120. And we're underway.
From the first match here, so setting off the festivities, you're here, hostile territory. How'd it feel to come out here and get it done?
Feels awesome. You feel like the enemy, and you know, you go out there, you get that first win, and it's electric, you know?
These in-school duels, a lot of juice, a lot of good vibes in here. How much fun is it to be a part of these?
It's awesome. This is the best atmosphere this is, you know? I love having these assembly duels, and a lot of schools don't do it, which sucks, but it gets the student body involved, and I love it.
All right, congratulations on that first win, man. Keep it up for the Warriors.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Great Aiden Ole there with Brian. Such an excellent wrestler. As Turnball in here on a low single, he'll get the takedown on Wanger. Running that ball and chain, keeping the forward pressure. See him keeping that weight all on the front of the bottom wrestler, Wanger. Turnball trying to drag him back in. Wrestle on the edge, and we're out of bounds. We'll return back to center. Wanger will be on bottom. Turnball excellent on top. Not a guy that you want to spend a whole lot of time on bottom with here. Turnball right back to that ball and chain. He's looking for that bar tilt. Doesn't get it on the first opportunity there. He's got the head in the pocket, driving it forward. And he lost the Bulldog. Claw spiral here from Ty Turnball. As Wanger up to his feet. He had the angle. He just couldn't get that lock broken. Got 22 seconds here in the first period. 3-0 Turnball. Wanger with an opportunity to get one back here. And we're going to have a caution on red. So Turnball with the early caution here. Gets set on top. Stops the first move. Wanger so good at peeling those wrists and posting it off. Turnball going back through the crotch. Kind of gets crashed down a little bit. He does get that wrist through the crotch and the ball and chain once again. 7 seconds. We got a clasping call here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that clasping call is for. As Turnball was through the crotch here. He was through the crotch on one leg. Coach Turnball not happy about that, and rightfully so. Now, both coaches now trying to relate that was through the crotch, and they are going to wave it off. Yeah, and that is the right call, although I have to say I don't know that I've ever seen an official wave off a clasping call. However, that is the right call. Wanger up to his feet quick, Turnball transitioning, and Wanger got turned around. Close to getting that one, but just couldn't get it done with that 3.6 seconds left. Clearfork going to defer now to Turnball, who picks bottom. Good ride here from Wanger, going claw, trips to the far side. Crowd loves it. Doing a really good job riding wrist, keeping that forward pressure that we saw from Turnball as well. Wanger so active on top. Trapping that near ankle. He's got it. Forearm around the waist there, and that thigh pry goes up to the claw. Good lift and return by Wanger. Crowd goes crazy. Turnball, ever the steady wrestler on bottom. Stays with it. He's defending well. Good cross wrist into a motorcycle here by Wanger. And Turnball fights it off. Another claw on a wrist here. Wanger maybe looking tilt. He loses the wrist. Going back to that claw wrist. However, he can't secure it. Turnball. Quad pod up into a stand-up. Posting the wrists off. Drops down Wanger into a single. High C situation down on the mat. Turnball's got the crotch lock. He's got the near toe lifted up and gets driven out of bounds. Contact Turnball's right foot on that gym floor over there, and we'll have 33 seconds to go in the second here. Turnball really good on bottom, but Wanger equally good ride. Nice double leg, low double. Turnball right back into a stand-up, peeling off, but gets tripped forward, looking for a switch, can't get it. Got 20 seconds to go in the period. Wanger again, so tough and so active on top. It's a situation where you don't exactly want to give too much up on bottom. You start turning the shoulders, turning wrists away, turning hips away. We can get into a little bit of trouble with a speedy guy like Wanger, as he's going to finish with a boot in over top and a wrist. Really good second period by Wanger here. Clear Fork's going to look at neutral here, which is the logical choice if you're Wanger. No points scored since that early takedown by Turnball as he fakes a shot, gets Wanger to bite, but can't finish out of it. Wanger, Turnball, hand fighting underneath. A couple of good wrestlers here. We're so lucky to see a match of this caliber at a school day duel, middle of the day, lunchtime. Student section's getting into it as Wanger's kind of looking to get into a Russian 2-on-1 situation here, but really good hand fighting from Turnball. Turnball takes a pick shot, and he gets it. Looking for three on the edge. He's going to drag him back in, and that's not scored three yet. Turnball wrestling on the edge, still drags him back in, and Wanger trips him backwards. Turnball kind of stumbled a little bit, fell back to his butt. Wanger with the equalizer takedown. It's now 3-all with 47 seconds to go in this match. Really heavy ride on top from Wanger. He's throwing a boot in. He's over top, looking for a banana split. He's out of position for it. He's kind of hooking that arm. You got to think he just wants to ride out here and maybe leave the chips fall where they may. In overtime, Turnball back to his feet, but gets tripped forward. Wanger 2-on-1 on the far side. Hops over to that far side. Loses the wrist. Going thigh pry. Turnball back to his feet for the fifth time. Comes up. Wanger in a single situation. Turnball's really good from here. He's got 15 seconds to score. Wanger with a head outside single, cross body. Turnball lifting up the near leg. He's trying to resist. All he needs is one to win. 3, 2, 1. And time will expire. No change indicated by the referee. Great match here as we're going to go into overtime. We're going to go to a 1-minute overtime period, this first one here. Turnball's so good in this situation. They drill this all the time in the practice room, as I'm sure Clear Fork does. Two wrestlers of the caliber of these two right here, you know that they're going to be coming out with some fireworks. Turnball with a snap to a near side cradle, but he can't finish it. Wanger's so good at crashing that back down. Turnball was close there. He had that the near knee, looking for that near side head in the hole style cradle. Wanger with an outside single shot. Can't complete it. Wanger rises back up to his feet. Turnball head to head. Hand fighting underneath. Another pick attempt by Turnball. Couldn't quite secure it there. A lot of level change. Outside single attempt by Wanger. Turnball's in a situation here looking for a head and arm. He's going to complete it. That's going to be 3 awarded. Turnball looking for the fall. Ontario really could use this 6 here. Looking to force it. Wanger trying to defend on his home mat here. All he's got to do is not give up the pin, and that'll be a good swing. And time will expire. Tyler Turnball with the late head and arm out of a funky situation there, almost front headlock. As you see here, finishing, just not able to get that pin. And Wanger resists the pin there. That's a big swing. That's going to make the score 15-6 by my account. Excellent win there by the young freshman Tyler Turnball.
Next on the mat for Ontario.
Next up, 125. I'm sorry, 126. It's going to be freshman Lily Smith, one of Ontario's first female wrestlers, getting her arm raised there in a varsity match. Quick shout out to her. That's my daughter as well. Proud father moment here. Getting some handshakes, nice smile there from Miss Smith. Hard worker in the room. She's been putting in the time, putting in the effort. And she's, like I said, one of the first female wrestlers at Ontario. Kind of a trailblazer in that regard. Her and Lily Gray and the new Ayla Reed, of course. Now as we get a look into the tunnel, it's going to be Damon, the Warrior Slayer Hoskins. Number 27th wrestler in the state of Ohio at 132 in D2. Hoskins, a very, very good wrestler, very heady, very scrappy. Going to be taking on Ontario's Weston Robertson. Robertson takes the mat here. Hands are shaking and we're underway. Hoskins stalking. Robertson fakes that high C. He's got a quick one. Tries to dive in, cross body. Hoskins sprawls out of it, circles back up. Great double by Robertson. He gets cross body though. He does sit Hoskins down to his butt. He's climbing up. Hoskins doing a really good job defending this. Robertson flipped over top. Hoskins scrambling out of it. Now he's underneath with a leg. Robertson controlling that far wrist, cross-face situation. Hoskins in good position. He might be looking to Peterson here. Robertson needs to do a good job of staying away from the body on that far side. He's lifting the near ankle, pushing the ear away. Another good cross-face. Hoskins grabs the wrist, posts it on the opposite side. Now Hoskins rises up. He's still out front. Can't quite finish this in a fireman situation here. Rises up. Robertson kind of pulls him back on top of him, and now he's in trouble. Hoskins gets the 3. And that's going to be 2 near fall awarded. Hoskins, really good scramble wrestler. He's working on top here. Throws a boot in on the left side. He's going to go far wrist. Now he's going to go near wrist, looking power half. Weston Robertson doing a great job underneath of resisting that, but he's getting a hip turn now. He's in position he doesn't want to be in. There's that kind of cross wrist tilt. Hoskins with double boots in now as time's going to expire on this match, and we're going to go into the second with Hoskins leading 5-0 over Weston Robertson. Clear Fork's going to defer. Ontario's going to instruct Robertson to go neutral here. Robertson shoots in a little far away for that inside fire. He works back up. Hoskins double unders. Robertson fires out of it. A lot of movement by Robertson. Hoskins, in comparison, looks a little calmer. Robertson in on another deep double here. Keeps trying to finish that across his head. That's going to get him in trouble again. He's crashed down underneath. He's got 2 hands on the left leg of Hoskins here. Hoskins doing a really good job of lifting the right ankle up, the near side, and he's going to spin around and get another 3 on Robertson here. That's going to make it an 8-0 match. Hoskins with that near leg hooked, or maybe Robertson with the near leg hook. Butcher situation here. He's got it locked up. He's going to walk around the front, place the head over the chest. Hoskins getting a couple waves here. I think 2 waves. Yes, official holding 2. Now there's more. That's going to be a pinfall. Damon, the Warrior Slayer Hoskins, adds another notch to it with a pin. Weston Robertson couldn't resist the Butcher. Really nice work from Hoskins there. That's going to be a second period pin. 54 seconds remaining in the second period there. We're definitely going to want to have a word there with Hoskins. Brian going to hunt him down right now. That's a great wrestler and a really, really solid pin there. He defended well out of a couple deep doubles from Robertson. Just wasn't enough. Robertson kind of finishing over top of his head. He's going to have to fix that before we get into this postseason. I call it a 3-week tournament. It's the sectional district state tournament. They all kind of run together there at the end. Now coming out at 138, number 6 ranked wrestler in D2 in the state of Ohio, Anthony. All I do is win, Oscar. Another excellent light to middleweight here for Clear Fork. We've got Brian standing aside here with Damon Hoskins. Brian?
I've got the latest victorious wrestler standing by with me right now. I've got Damon Hoskins. Big win and a nice pin here in front of a very pro Clear Fork crowd. Just take me through walking out of that tunnel, coming out here, getting everybody geeked up, and then performing.
Well, the last 2 years that I've had a duel against Ontario, I've had top-ranked kids, and I've gotten my butt handed to me every time. So this year I knew I had to come out and put it all on the mat, do it for my team, for my school, and came out and put out a good performance, and I got the win.
Yeah, it looked like you're very satisfied with the performance that you put on out there. So just break down for me kind of the end of the match there, about the last 20 seconds, and how you were able to get it done.
Well, I knew after the first period I could stop his shot, and I wrestled him at the Gorman, and I pinned him with the Butcher that time. So I got it locked up that time, and I knew if I just rode it and I put the pressure on him, I would get him over and get him pinned.
Awesome stuff, man. Before we turn you loose, any shout-outs you want to give?
I want to give a shout-out to my coaches and my family for always pushing me.
All right, thanks a lot, Damon. Good stuff, bro. And we just...
Great stuff there from Brian with Damon Hoskins. Big pin against Weston Robertson. And number 6 ranked wrestler Anthony Oscar, he got his action done there in the first period before we could even finish that interview. Quick pin there of Ontario's Raiden Reinhardt. They're going to bump up, looks like Gavin Miller, the number 24 ranked wrestler at 138 in D2, to 144 to wrestle Luke, the Slender Man Lee. So we get a look at Lee there in the tunnel. Gavin Miller, another talented wrestler, light middleweight from Ontario. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's been banged up from time to time this year, but he's worked through it. He's starting to get healthy. He's starting to peak at the right time. Gavin Miller, another name to watch as we move toward that 3-week tournament, as I said. This atmosphere here is so cool. You have all this glowy stuff. Students are holding, they got the freebies in the stands there. They're waving them around. They're getting rowdy. They're sending out their wrestlers. 144, we got Luke, the Slender Man Lee, taking the mat right now. Tall kid, I see why they call him Slender Man. This guy's tall and thin. Makes you wonder if he looks for ankle picks here. A lot of times you see those tall guys, especially in the middleweights, they like to look at picks. Miller, really good neutral wrestler here. Trying to look off that Russian 2-on-1. Lee doing a good job of posting on that near side of the head and keeping his head in good position. Miller wants to stay active here. He gets over top. Lee doing a good job of controlling that near elbow, posting up with that outside leg. Miller in kind of that front half situation here. Bounces it again. That never feels good if you're the bottom guy, getting your face bounced off the mat. Miller with a re-attack here. That's going to be a 3 takedown call on the edge. Wizard situation here as he realizes he gets that 3 on the edge. Really nice job there on the re-attack as we see him get down and crash that far hip and get the right hand up over the hip of Luke Lee. And that is going to be confirmed after some questions from Clear Fork's coaching staff. 3-0, 54 seconds to go in the first period here. Miller doing a good job with that near side ride. He's looking for that cookie. He claps on that near side cradle, but he's in trouble here. He's got his near hip crash down, and Lee has that far leg. Miller wisely bails out of it. So rare that you see Miller caught out of position. Going on 15 seconds here till the end of the period. Miller with a nice heavy ride. He's got that cross wrist pulled under across the belly. He's riding it forward. Seconds ticking away here as we'll go into the second period. Gavin Miller leading 3-0 over Clear Fork's Luke Lee. Miller set on bottom. Lee mounts on top. Mostly straight ahead. Don't see that type of load very often here. Really north-south. Lee riding that near side, but Miller up to his feet, cuts, turns, gets the escape point. Miller working that near side ankle. Very textbook. He's going to clap on and a near side cradle. That's locked up. That's going to be a 3 takedown. He's back to his back. Lee's in trouble here. Looks like official holding at least, looks like 3. Miller working, taking his time. He's got a minute and plus to work with. He's going to drag him back in, head in the hip. He likes to hook that leg there. The lock is toward the top of the head, so he's in good position to finish here. There he goes riding, and they are out of bounds. He lifts up that inside leg. And it doesn't look like the official awarded any near fall points. So we'll go back down to the mat, referee's position here. Somebody caution red, Gavin Miller, little quick start there. Lee with that near side stand up, and you don't want to do that against a guy. Got an illegal hold on Gavin Miller here. Officials saying he reached over top of the head to the chin and twisted the neck. That is undue pressure. That's going to be another caution on Gavin Miller. That's 2 cautions on Gavin Miller here. Next one will award a point to Lee. Gavin Miller leading 7-1 after the penalty point. 2 takedowns and the escape early in the second. Miller working on top, quad pod here from Lee. Lee tries this near side sit. Miller's a little too strong in the hips. Granby attempt there, but Miller wisely steps through the legs. Now he's working on a near side wing, looks like. He does secure the wing. However, there's only 16 seconds left in the period. Miller, near side wing. He's going to drag it around to the far side. 7 seconds to go. He's working to his back. He's almost had him in criteria, but he could not complete the turn. Gavin Miller's going to go into the third with a 7-1 lead. However, Luke Lee showing that he belongs. He's going to pick top here on Gavin Miller. And I think if there's any position that, I don't want to necessarily say exploit, but if there is any position from Gavin Miller, you're probably going to want to be on top. He's so good from his feet. He's so heavy on top, and you just don't really have time. As you see there, even in maybe his least favored position on bottom, he gets a nice quick switch. That's going to be another 2 to make it 9-1 for Gavin Miller. Miller riding heavy. He's got that baseball bat in half. Comes off of that arm bar, blocking the near arm with his head, but just kind of loses it. I think the issue there was he just didn't quite have that far shoulder and hip area crash down far enough. Nice stand up there from Lee. He's going to escape, get one back. It's now 9-2 with less than a minute to go here in the third period. Miller, nice shot from distance on that outside single. Does such a good job of that. Lee whizzing on it, but he's going to turn in. He's going to turn to the far side, tumble through. Gavin Miller keeps that ankle on the far side. He's in good position to score again here. However, he's got to protect that right knee. And Lee's just going to hang on there. We're going to get stalemated with 21.3 seconds to go in the match. Ontario really would like to bonus in this match. I think they were kind of expecting it, so they're going to want another takedown here. Another takedown would give them a major, and there's going to be the takedown they needed. Gavin Miller, so quick on his feet. Another 3 takedown. That's going to make it a 12-2 match. That's going to be a major decision for Ontario's Gavin Miller over Luke Lee, who really showed some great wrestling out there. He showed a lot of ability to scramble, a lot of good work on bottom. He wasn't giving up turns easy, but ultimately could not resist the major from Gavin Miller. And that's going to score 14 points for Ontario. And with that double forfeit early on, I've got Ontario leading this 25-18.
150 pounds for Ontario Warriors.
It's going to be the 150-pound weight class. We're going to see Mason Turnball, the number 4 ranked wrestler at 150 in D2 in the state of Ohio. Excellent, excellent senior for the Warriors. This is a guy that's going to give anybody fits. But how about Tristan, the Beast Kromer? He's not scared. He's coming out. He's ready to wrestle. He's checking in here at the head table. He's going to toe the line against the excellent Mason Turnball. Turnball looking really strong these last couple weeks here. Front headlock situation out of a snap. He's going to go near side cradle maybe. It's kind of inside thigh prying. Suicide cradle. That was sick. Turnball dives through it. He's going to put him to his back. Kromer fighting for his life right now. Turnball so good from this situation. He finishes a lot of pins, and he's hunting for that 100th pin. He's well on his way, and this is going to add to that. Mason Turnball, first period pin over Tristan Kromer. That was too slick. We see the replay after Turnball. He had that snap down to a front headlock, and he dove through underneath. You kind of duck your head under, blocking that arm. You dive through to that suicide cradle, and as soon as you get that rolled through, it's really hard for the other wrestler to scramble out of that. Ultimately, Kromer was not able to. Turnball locked it up, and that's going to make it a 31-18 team score here. Now we have the 157-pound weight class. Jimmy Unger from Ontario. Good contributor for the Warriors. He's had a lot of high points this season. He's going to come out here against Connor, the Hammer Bailey, who you know that he's ready to roll. However, we're going to take a moment here. I've got Brian back here with Mason Turnball. We're going to turn it over to you, Brian.
All right, I'm standing by here with Mason Turnball, fresh off of the destruction of your opponent. Less than 40 seconds to get it done. Take me through the strategy.
Well, I've been waiting to hit that move all year. I thought best to do it in front of his own crowd. Not to sound mean, but I have been waiting. So that was just the plan, just to hit that move, really.
Awesome environment, of course, here this afternoon. You guys have been a part of this a few times for the assembly duel. How much fun do you have in these type of moments?
These are a blast. I love coming out in front of everybody. I mean, it's just so much fun. Just being able to beat somebody in front of their own crowd and then winning in front of your own home crowd, it's a great feeling.
Any shout outs you want to give today?
Oh gosh, my dad, Wes Turnball, Tyler for winning his match. Big match.
All right, big one for you too. Congratulations, Mason. Keep it up.
Ontario's great senior Mason Turnball. He's pursuing that state championship. You know he wants it so bad. He's been working like crazy in the room, so thanks for getting that word in there with him, Brian. Excellent stuff. Jimmy Unger here leading this match 3-0. For those of you that were watching the wrestling action during that interview, Unger kind of was dead to rights, got lifted up out of that double leg and dropped back down and really scrambled out of it and almost ended up with 3 of his own. Matter of fact, I thought the official had awarded 3, but he didn't. Then they scrambled out to the edge. Bailey almost had a reversal if that would have been a 3. They went out of bounds, returned back to center. Unger threw another scramble, really nice kind of duck situation, sat through and got his own takedown. He's on top here, riding Connor Bailey. Connor Bailey with that sit. Unger's got the near side leg. He's going to try to go cross body here. He might be looking cradle. He does lock up that far side cradle. He bumps the hips over. He's in good position here to finish, but Bailey doing a good job of tying that back leg up. Unger's got it locked up. All he's got to do is walk right in there. He figures it out. He's going to get some waves here. There's a full 4 count. Jimmy Unger looking to finish in the first period. However, time is ticking, and it will expire. That's going to be 4 near fall. Jimmy Unger, excellent start here. Clear Fork will defer. Ontario's going to take neutral here as Unger looked pretty good on his feet. Arm drag attempt from Unger, no dice. Connor Bailey taps and goes. Unger's got that far wrist. Bailey, he's cradled up again. Unger's got the cradle. That's going to be 3 awarded. He's going to take him to his back. He's posted on his head. Can he drive it over, though? Bailey doing a really good job of keeping distance. Now he's getting waves. And that's going to be a fall. Ontario's Jimmy Unger. I said he was a contributor, folks. He contributes there with 16 points of his own. Connor Bailey just could not resist that fall. That's going to make it 37-18, Ontario. Excellent work there from Jimmy Unger. That's one of those matches that really can make a difference in a duel like this. This is a tightly contested duel, and those pins, those bonus wins, those are what you look for. Now we've got Ontario's Colton Bevens at 165 against Lakota Speedy Leedy. Coming out of the tunnel right now. Strong-looking kid coming through, getting some daps from his teammates and his coaches. Leaves the last guy hanging. That's how little he cares. He's speedy, leady. He wants to get on the mat. He's ready to rock and roll. Whistle blows and we're off. Speedy Leedy on his home mat against Colton Bevens. And we're going to go to Brian here.
I'm here with the victorious Jimmy Unger. Congratulations, you get a pin there. Saved by the bell in that first round. How'd you get it done there in the second?
You just got to keep wrestling hard throughout it. It's a lot of just drilling every day. Thanks for my teammates. It's a great room. Yeah, you just got to keep moving, keep fighting through that.
You guys got a nice 31-12 lead right now. We're about halfway through. How confident are you in this bunch when you came into the Valley here this afternoon?
I didn't really worry about the match. I just worried about wrestling hard going in, but I was going to win. I couldn't lose. We gotta win this duel, and looks like we're gonna.
So far, so good. Any shout-outs you want to give before you take off?
Yeah, my coaches, Wes Turnball, Monty Ole, Jason Perry, Tyler Comise, my dad, my stepmom, my mom, all my little brothers that helped me drill when I'm at home, and especially my teammates. Thanks to all.
I'm sure your little brothers always appreciate that, man. Hey, Jimmy Unger, congratulations on a big win, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
Ontario's Jimmy Unger. You heard it there. You can't stop wrestling. He didn't stop wrestling. He found that cradle that he was looking for early in the match. Finished it with a pin to give Ontario a nice cushion here. With just a handful of matches left. Leedy with the early takedown on Bevens. He's working that near side chicken wing. He's got the far wrist. It's past the shoulder, but he's going to run out of time here. Time expires, and this is going to go into the second period as a 3-0 match. Leedy leading. It's going to be green choice here. They're going to choose bottom. Colton Bevens going to be charged with a caution here. Improper loading. Don't tell the DOT. Leedy there with a quick stand-up. Gets out to the side. Looking for that near side cradle, but Bevens does a good job of crashing the hip down. Allows the 2, not the 3. Gonna be one escape by Bevens there. It makes it a 5-1 match, excuse me. Nice high C there from Leedy. He was a little cross-body though, so he's got his hips on the other side from what he wants. But Bevens kind of hikes that leg over and gets in a little bit of trouble. Leedy with another takedown. He's gonna kick him out here, keeping hands on. Another escape for Bevens. 8-2 match with 1:05 to go in the second period here. Nice double. Leedy with a deep double. He's going to climb up the back, and he does lock those hands. He's getting waves. He's going to get 3. It's a 14-2 advantage here for Speedy Leedy. He's going to go back to that near side chicken wing. He's got the wrist past the shoulder. 28 seconds to go. He's looking for the turn. He does have Bevens turn. He's on his back. Official waved once. Now he's waving more. And Bevens in an unfortunate situation. See if he can last this final 13 seconds. And no, he cannot. The pinfall is called. Leedy adds 6 to Clear Fork's team score total as he flexes for the crowd there in front of his student body. That's got to feel good getting the fall that way. That's going to make this match 37-24. So we have the 175-pound weight class. Ontario's Caleb Steensland. He's going to be taking on the number 7th wrestler in the state of Ohio at D2 at 175 pounds, Blake, the Hay Baler Schlosser. Yet another Schlosser taking the mat in front of a Clear Fork crowd. Blake coming out to enter Sandman by Metallica. That's a classic pump-up song here, as he's going to go in with that over tie. Collar tie to an ankle pick is what he ends up scoring on. That's going to be a quick 3 and a quick escape here. Steensland, an athletic kid. However, you think that he might just be a little outmatched here with Schlosser. Schlosser's a great athlete, gets in on another kind of blast double situation there. He's going to go with that claw spiral and another escape, 6-2. Clear Fork really needs to bonus in every one of these matches if they want to stay close. And that was a little too sweet. That's going to be another 3 takedown for Blake. And he's locking up a cradle. He's got Steensland on his back. And that's a quick pin. First period pin by Blake, the Hay Baler Schlosser. That's going to make this a much tighter duel match here. As with those early double forfeits, I've got the score at 37-30, a 7-point advantage. We're going to go back to Brian here, who's standing by with Blake Schlosser.
All right, as we see the next wrestler coming out of the tunnel, I'm hanging out here with Blake Schlosser. You really just got the crowd as pumped up as I've seen all day. How much fun was that? How inspiring was it?
Oh, it's amazing. We got a great crowd. I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, you can see for yourself. It's great atmosphere, great place to be. I love it. I love this place.
Ontario put you in a pretty sizable hole. Back-to-back pins for you guys now. You're starting to get back into it. Do you feel the momentum shifting?
A little bit, yeah. We aren't wrestling the best of our ability. We had to bump a few guys, a couple guys sick, but we're trying to adjust and do our best.
All right, so far so good on the comeback trail. Anybody you want to shout out before we turn you loose?
I want to shout out to all my coaches, Jake, Bailey, especially. They helped get me to where I am. I want to thank my family. They've always pushed me to be my best, especially my dad. I think that's about it. Can't think. My grandpa, he was always there for me. Unfortunately, he passed a few years ago. It was hard on us, but wrestling helped me push through it, helped me get through it, and still got my grandma. She takes pictures. We're all thankful for her. I mean, yeah.
All right, brother. Hey, nice performance. I think the second fastest pin of the day. Keeping Clear Fork on the comeback trail.
Great stuff there again from Brian. Blake Schlosser found his pin, but Ontario's Landon Sowards just pins Alex the Animal Schlosser. That's going to be a first period pin and a really big one to keep Ontario in the team race here. It's going to make it 43-24 by my count. Landon Sowards there at 190. He's ranked number 24 in D2. He's kind of a late joiner to the wrestling team. Got a bright future ahead of him. Great football player, just a great athlete in general, a good kid. Happy to have him in the program. I'm sure Coach Turnball is. Now we've got Ontario's Trent Mlot, number 17 at 215 in D2, taking on Trey, don't judge a book by the cover, Copeland. I'm being told he's now ranked 11th in the state. He's made a lot of strides this last year here. As we're going to go back to Brian, he's standing by with Landon Sowards.
I've got Landon Sowers with me now, just fresh off of his pin victory. Clear Fork was putting a little bit of heat on you, back-to-back pins for them. Talk about just kind of rewriting the narrative here and getting momentum back for you guys.
We were, calculating the score. Coaches told me we get a pin, we secure the duel, so I knew what I had to go out and do, and glad we got the job done.
Take me through just your strategy out there and how you were able to implement it on the mat.
I knew high energy, he was going to come out ready to go. Knew I just had to work my stuff and then stay patient on top, get the pin.
All right, congratulations. I see you've been having a dynamic season. Who do you want to shout out that's helped kind of put you in this position?
I just want to shout out everybody that helped me get back into it a little late in the season. Glad to get the team the win today.
All right, congratulations, Landon. Good stuff, brother. Thanks for the time.
All right, good stuff as always. Hearing from Landon Sowers there. Excellent Ontario wrestler at 190. Trent Mlot here. He's locked into a battle with Trey Copeland of Clear Fork. It's been back and forth here. Mlot almost had a couple slide bys, over drags. There's that over drag again. He gets into that Russian 2-on-1, but Copeland's got head position. Mlot tries that fireman's. Doesn't have the head position to finish it. Now he's going to control that right side elbow underneath here. Front headlock situation, posts it off. We're back to our feet. Still in a standing front headlock. Hand fighting underneath. Good job by Copeland, keeping Mlot's head down. Copeland's going to spin. Mlot both hands on the right leg of Copeland. He's got to pop his head out, though. That way he can step up. Copeland doing a really good job of crashing the hips down. Mlot does get popped out to the side, but he cannot finish that shot as Copeland does a really good job of stomping that fist. And there's going to be a stall call against Ontario's Mlot. The official is going to say that he was backing off the mat. Not sure about that one. This figures to be a good match, but I don't think we need help making it a good match here. Clear Fork's going to defer to Ontario. Mlot's going to pick bottom. Mlot, a strong kid. Another good multi-sport athlete here as he's going to sit out, a quick sit, but he cannot complete that switch. He almost had it, just had to keep those hips moving a little bit. Copeland doing a good job of following the hips, jumps over to that ankle ride, and he's cross-facing to that far tricep. He's going to try to lock in a far side cradle. Can't get to it, however. Clear Fork crowd getting back into it after they had kind of been a little subdued. Ontario had some wins strung together there, and this was kind of turning into a little bit of a runaway, but Clear Fork's clawed back into it. Copeland still, he does have that crossface. He's got that far shoulder of Mlot crashed down. He's trying to dig out the leg. He digs the lock. He does have it locked up, it looks like from my angle. And he loses it. Just didn't have quite enough of his hands locked. Copeland with the leg in on the near side. Not really going cross body. Mlot bucks him off. Now we're in a stand-up situation, front back. In a near side kind of twist trip. Mlot back down on his hands and knees. Copeland really hard on that near side ankle. You got to think the official will be looking at that as well. Cross face. Copeland still riding that far ankle. Cross face Mlot. Looking to lock up the cradle. Mlot hand fighting underneath. Resists it. 10 seconds to go in the second period here. It's a 0-0 match still. And Ontario unable to score on bottom. Trey Copeland, really nice ride out there in the second period. Did a great job of staying on that near ankle, not allowing Mlot out. Did return him back, and he's going to take bottom here. He's up quick. Mlot drops to a single. tries to finish it across, but now they're in a scramble situation. Mlot just gives up the 2. As Copeland now leads off of that reversal 2-0 in front of his home crowd. Heavy ride. Hard crossface to the far tricep. He's got a butcher locked up here. Mlot wisely gets his hips back up. Mlot maybe kind of gassing out here from the heavy ride from Copeland. They're going to call red for stalling again. So that's going to make this a 3-0 match. And Copeland with his tough riding on top. He's got a leg in on the right side. You got to think that he's kind of favored to win this one with about 45 seconds to go here in the third period, up 3-0. Mlot showing nothing on bottom here. Copeland back to that near side ankle ride. Still looking for that far side cradle, the crossface, but just can't get it. Now he's got a crossface kind of bar butcher situation. Mlot back to his kind of posted up position here. Works that tricep out. 10 seconds and counting here in the end of this match. Mlot gets rode out for a period and a half. And Trey, don't judge a book by its cover. Copeland comes away with a really big win. It might just be a decision, but it's great to get a win late in this duel in front of your home crowd. Copeland, a guy that's made huge strides over the last couple of seasons here. Done a really great job and gets a win in front of his home crowd. That's going to make this score 43-27. 285 pounds, we have Ontario's Grady Taylor. Another late coming wrestler to the Ontario squad, but always a good addition. Super nice guy. Good athlete, works hard in the room. He's going to be taking on Luke Manchild Ramy. Getting dapped up by his home team here. Ready to put on a show in this last match of the duel here. Taylor pummeling in. Both these wrestlers unranked at 285, but just because we have an unranked matchup doesn't mean there's not going to be fireworks. I can tell you in my experience, sometimes these are the most exciting matches that you see in a duel. Taylor with that near side slap single attempt, doesn't go. Nice two-handed snap. He's got Ramy underneath, and Taylor's going to get a takedown. Taylor riding heavy on top, trying that tight waist, far ankle, and he does get Ramy broken down. However, Ramy, the man-child, as he's tabbed, faces right back up. Taylor working on top here, trying to chop. However, Ramy, very strong, obviously. He's resisting those chops. Taylor goes back to that tight waist far ankle, and he does get the breakdown, looking for power half here. He's got a power half locked up. He hops over on that near side. He's turning Ramy. He's got the shoulder crash. Here's Taylor. He's teed up. He's teed up. He's got the half. Far side arm scooped. Official looking at it. He wants to call it. He does call it. A pin for Grady Taylor for Ontario. And that's going to lock this one up. Grady Taylor of Ontario with a huge pin on Luke Ramy, as you see here. Gets those eyes up. He's ready for that pinfall. And there it's called. And Ontario's going to walk away with this one. Final score counting the double forfeits, 49-21. But wait, there's more. We have some exhibition wrestling coming up here, folks. We have Ian Sue 144 for Ontario over there getting ready. And you see they're getting stretched out. And we're going to kick it over to Brian. We've got Grady Taylor behind us.
We've got our heavyweight champion here, Grady Taylor. Awesome experience out there, obviously, with all the different fans here in the building. What was it like for you to come out into enemy territory and get it done to kind of cap off the afternoon?
It's always fun. I love Clear Fork. I win a lot here. Football, wrestling, except for track. Julian Mills usually does a pretty good job against me.
So talk about just the experience overall as a team. You're going to come in here. You're going to get the win here today. You guys have had an exceptional season, and what it means to you as we're getting closer and closer to tournament time to keep racking up some dubs.
Well, the coaches definitely had us well prepared for this one. Wes was talking all week about mentality, coming in here with a clear mind, not getting overly excited. Don't make it a show. Just come out and win.
Well, you put on a show. Congratulations for getting the pin. Anybody you want to shout out?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and Sarah Strickler.
All right, hey, congratulations, Grady. Big performance, man. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be back. Yeah, I was going to say, we got wrestling going on.
Thank you. We're going to stay right here, guys. We have some bonus wrestling. Ontario's Ian Sue here. She's got a big win in the duel the other day. Scrambling, he's going to get around behind. He's on the edge, out front, wrestling on the edge really well. That's going to be a 3 takedown here for Sue, and he flips over the top. That's going to be a 2 reversal. It's a 3-2 match here with a minute to go in the first period of this exhibition match. We're going to be out of bounds. 49 seconds to go. Xander Frederick here from Clear Fork on top. Collapses Sue's hips. Sue turning in. Ultimately has to return. He's back into a stand-up now, and he's going to hip in, and that's going to be a 2 reversal for Sue. Really great hip presence. Sue with the half. He's got a cradle locked up now. Might have got away with a clasping call. He rocks that cradle back. He's got him on his back. Frederick fighting. Trying to peel that lock away. He's peeling it down. Sue fighting the clock. 10 seconds, inside of 10 seconds actually. 7, 6, 5, 4. And this match will end, this period will end with 4 near fall for Sue. He goes up 9-2. And Clear Fork, after Ontario defers, they will choose neutral. As Frederick did look a little scrappy on his feet. Sue with a nice elbow pass, but couldn't cash in. Working inside. Pops and goes, can't get underneath, but he's in a duck under situation, rises up to a bear hug. He lifts it, tries to turn it down, but he gets kind of fallen on, just can't complete that. That's going to be 3 for Clear Fork's Xander Frederick. Makes this a 9-5 match. Minute and a half to go in the second period here. Team score already decided. Ontario with the double forfeits wins that one 49-27. And you heard, I believe it was Blake Schlosser, kind of highlighting, and I'm not going to call them excuses. You know, a lot of people say this is excusing a loss, but there's a lot of sickness going around the schools, a lot of wrestling teams, they're battling the flu, a couple other bugs, and just general winter sickness. And Clear Fork not quite at full strength. They did give up that forfeit. They had to play the bumping game, and ultimately it was too much for them to overcome. And Ontario does come away with a really well fought and is going to be a well-received win for Coach Wes Turnball. Because here we see Xander Frederick turning Sue in that half. He's got him. Looks like he's stuck. Sue's bridging up, but he's going to roll through this. He couldn't. He does. He pops his head up over top. He gets doubled and lifted down. Dropped hard on the mat. You see this, Sue on the replay pops his head out and over top. How did he do that? But he gets a little too high in and gets lifted up in that double, gets his hips too close and dropped right back down on his face. We have a 10-8 match. As indicated by the scoreboard here. Sue's going to take bottom. Quick sit out, reaches over top, ends up in a front headlock situation, kind of an overhook whizzer. Butcher situation. Sue whips it around. He puts him on his back. Frederick's on his back. Sue, he's in position. He's got it around the head, but he's not locking hands. And he did lock hands. He had it locked underneath. And boy, I hope Frederick's okay. They're going to start injury time. He might have been knocked out a little bit there, folks. Sitting right back up as we see here. Sue, he did have that hand locked up underneath, kind of on his arm. And since he didn't have his opposing wrestler's arm in there, that is an illegal headlock. And that's going to be a penalty point for Clear Fork. It's going to make it a 12-9 advantage here for Sue. However, if Frederick cannot continue, which looks like he is going to be able to continue, they're going to cut injury time here. Good look of the crowd there. Great shots, great camera work today. It's not often that I get to be on this side of it. Usually the one with the camera in my hand. As Sue loads up, and he did not have the hand on the elbow properly as he's hit with a caution. So we'll get this match started. We're in the third period here. 1:30 to go. And here's Frederick. He kind of whips Sue's head around, but Sue stays out front and whips his own. Frederick ends up on his back, and that's going to be a fall. Ian Sue. Second pin of his very short, very young wrestling career. As you see here, he's finishing that. He's teed off really nicely, just like they teach you in the room. And he's going to finish that with a pin. And it's handshake time here in the Colt Corral. Final score, I have 49-27 Ontario. Official scoreboard here in the gym says 43-27 Ontario. End result is the same. Ontario with a big dual win here at the in-school duel in the Colt Corral. MOAC victories on the duel mat, they always mean a little bit more. We're going to give you these last few looks here, and we're going to go ahead and take a break, quick commercial, and we'll bring it back for some post-match analysis.
We carry supplements that are from companies that do a lot of testing. So they will test their raw ingredients, they'll test them afterwards as well, and they're testing for both purity and then they're also testing for potency. So things like arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, we have a lot of supplements and also prescriptions we can recommend and lifestyle type things that can help with that as well.
Streaming free on the future of local sports. Clear for Colts, breaking down the doors. Boom! Yeah! Boom! Clear for lights dim, the crowd's alive. Spotlight hits, it's time to thrive. Ontario warriors, they came to fight. But clear for Colts all the night. Keep a wrinkle in your neck and your laces off the mat. This is when legends rise, remember that. Of local sports domain. Victories in sight. Feel the pulse of the crowd. Clear for Colts, stand tall and proud. The roar of cheers shakes the floor.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm standing here with Clear Fork head coach Nick Allerding. Coach, not exactly the end result that we might have been looking for, but I think we got on the mat. We got some students excited about wrestling. Talk a little bit about kind of what goes into preparing for an MOAC duel like this against a team like Ontario.
Yep. So yeah, it's always an awesome event. Our administration always do a really good job. The students show up, cheer us on. So that's always awesome. This event's just always a real positive thing in the school. It's a lot of fun. Not the result we were looking for today. Kind of disappointed. We're a little bit thin. We wrestled them a few weeks ago. They were a little thin, and then we're missing a few guys today. But we still needed to wrestle better and couldn't pull out the win today.
Yeah, and I think you said it. Everybody this time of year, we're kind of banged up. We're kind of sick. Not everybody's at 100%, but you had one guy that I wanted to highlight, and that's Colton. Bumping up, taking on a great wrestler. What's his psychology? Does he know well beforehand that he's getting bumped up, or is that kind of a match time thing, and how does he handle that?
So he actually weighed in a weight class up today, kind of knew ahead of time, kind of going for that matchup with Tyler Turnball. Kind of knew it was a pretty good match, and it'd be close, and it came down to the wire, and he just couldn't pull it off in overtime there. So like I said, he'll be back down at 13 for the postseason stuff. But yeah, it was a good match, and we just came down on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, and that's the way the wrestling goes sometimes. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, as well as anybody else. Coach, you guys got a great program here. One of my favorite kind of teams to watch at any tournament I go to, even when I'm coaching. I love seeing your guys out there. They're hard workers. You guys as a staff, is there anything special you guys do to get everybody kind of to buy in on the team?
Like I said, I appreciate that. Like I said, we've been working here, and I'm super thankful, super blessed that we've been surrounded by. We've had a lot of really good people. Anybody that's in the world of wrestling, and really a lot of sports for that matter, it takes a whole lot of people to a lot of pieces to build a puzzle of success. We're still not, we're still building, we're still trying to get better, but we've had a lot of people from my coaching staff who are really good, to supporters, to parents and families, right? I mean, that's ultimately, it comes down to getting some families of athletes kind of bought in. And, I'm super thankful we got some really good families that kind of buy in and commit and allow their athletes, their wrestlers to come in and kind of be receptive. So, like I said, I'm just thankful for all the guys we got. And like I said, it comes down to the people, right? Good people.
And one last thing that I want to touch on, and I'm sure it'll come as no surprise that I'm going to ask this question. Girls wrestling, hottest sport in the country. They say fastest growing sport in the country. What are you guys doing on the girls front to kind of prepare for this, I guess they're calling it sectional district and now state run. It's kind of new for the girls scene, but all in one division. What are your thoughts on that?
So we don't have any girls on our high school roster at the time. That's something that's, like I said, it's growing like crazy. I'm super hopeful that maybe we'll be able to get some girls. I think it's going to start with potentially some club stuff and start to get some girls kind of committed and as build it up from the biddy up, right? That's usually where wrestling's built, from the biddy up. So as it's growing at the high school level, it's only going to kind of percolate down to the biddy and keep growing. So for us, I'm hoping we can kind of really get maybe somebody in place and look potentially to get a separate girls program at some point. We don't have that yet, but like I said, on a personal level, I hope we can get some stuff together, because I got 3 girls, 7 and under, and that option would be pretty nice to have just in case. So
yeah, it's a different world, girls wrestling. I'll tell you that, coming from a coach and a parent of a girl wrestler. It's almost a different sport sometimes. So there you guys have it. Clear Fork's Nick Allerding. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to have Coach Wes Turnball here next. We'll take a short break. We will come right to it. Hey, Coach, nice job today. A 43-27 win by the gym scoreboard here. Ty Turnball wrestled a guy bumping up. He did weigh in at that, upper class. But talk a little bit about Ty's efforts as a freshman and what he means to this team.
Absolutely. Of course, it's my nephew, so I got a lot of high hopes there. But, no, he's had some big matches here recently. He's one of those kids that he just doesn't stop. He wrestles all the way through the matches. And we kind of anticipated Colton Wanger jumping up this week, maybe not cutting the weight, whatever, so be it. Not wrestling Aiden, because we got 2 back-to-back good kids. Maybe he'd have a little bit better shot at beating Tyler, at 120. So we kind of thought that, and then Tyler just gets pumped up in those matches. He loves those big matches. Colton's beat him before, so he wants to have that redemption, but he wrestles matches all the way through. It doesn't matter, if it's a pin in the first period or if it's into overtime. We know he's going to wrestle it out.
Yeah, hard worker in and out of the room. That guy's always doing something, it seems like. You mentioned Aiden Knoll, but there is another kind of top-flight guy in the program that I want to talk about, and, of course, that's Mason Turnball. Another big win here tonight. He's really pushing for that, I call it the 3-week tournament there at the end of the year, that sectional district state. You got to put a good run together. How's he feeling about his chances here coming up to the end?
looking good. I mean, we always, we talk about that, and we talk about, with everybody, Aiden, Tyler, Mason, Landon Sowers, a couple of the kids, Trent Mlot, are kids that are like a definite, like they're ranked, so we talk about if we need to change weight classes at the end of the season or what, so that's the, like talking with Tyler about that. But, I mean, Mason's just, he's feeling good. He didn't cut the weight he did last year, so he's feeling good. He looks good. We had a little bit of hiccup first thing, in the season, so worked through that, and now, I mean, he's looking top of his game. He's had some tough matches, but he's fought through them. Still had some pretty good wins over some tough matches. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as the end of the season, we're looking. I mean, we should have a pretty clear shot all the way through to state, and then that's when you meet the guys that are the couple that are ranked above you or whatever, the guys that we're anticipating seeing. So,
Yeah, and that's, you always have to beat somebody to be somebody, they like to say. So he'll definitely be one of those somebodies to beat, I think, in Columbus. Last guy I want to ask about had another big win today. It kind of seems to be sort of a recurring theme. Jimmy Unger, he came out and had another big one. He gets in those scrappy situations, and, we've seen him in the room. I don't know that he necessarily drills that scrap, but he just kind of seems to have that about him. What do you see from him in the room? I know he's another hard worker, but he really meshes well with the coaching staff.
Yes, Jimmy goes 100 mile an hour all the time. Whether it's in practice, he's always looking for a partner that's going to push him and make him lose the most weight in practice, work the hardest in practice. So, but he does the same thing in matches. We always have to tell him, slow down, Jimmy, because he does. He goes so hard, he overshoots his shots. He takes somebody down and runs straight for their head for the pin, and just sometimes he needs to slow down, and he's that. He shouldn't be that 500 wrestler, but he is. He should be winning more matches. He should be one of those guys that we're thinking, yeah, you should be ranked right now. But at the same time, he's losing matches he shouldn't because he just goes too fast. So as soon as we can get him to slow down, and I hate to say that, slow down just a little bit, then that season turns around for him, and he becomes one of those guys that's winning the matches and winning tournaments. So, but definitely one of the hardest workers we have. So I can't leave him out, but I just need to get into his head sometimes a little bit and slow him down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good problem to have out of a, kind of middle of the road guy. He's winning matches that I don't want to say he shouldn't, but he's kind of winning matches that mean a lot in the sense of a duel. So it's really good to have guys like that. Coach Turnball, I appreciate it. Always good to see you. Congrats on the win today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Good stuff right there, and congratulations, obviously, to Ontario coming out, getting it done today. West, one of the very best that we have here in the area. And then you also got to tip your cap to Nick and the crew over here at Clear Fork. A couple of guys out today. If not, probably would have been a little bit different story for the Colts. But the game plan executed to perfection by the Warriors here on the road, coming into enemy territory and getting it done. A big duel victory, 49-27 your final score here at the 2025 Clear Fork Assembly Duel. They got to start tearing down and getting things ready for the basketball game tonight. And guess what? If you want to be a part of it, you can watch live and free. I'm going to be on the call. Andy Jardia is my sidekick, so tune in for that one right around 7:20. The pre-game coverage will kick in back here at the Colt Corral. Before this year's Assembly Duel, had a great time. Glad that I could be a part of it here in person. We're stepping out. We'll see you guys later tonight. Plenty of live streams to tune into on the OH Report. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you this evening.
Move's a blur, built to last. Ontario fighters, they're giving their all. But Clear Fork's fire will make them fall. The mat is cold, the tension's high. Every muscle's cold beneath the spotlight's eye. Years of training, blood, sweat, and tears. Tonight we conquer.